Hello everyone and welcome to part 2. If you remember, I spoke about the multiple theories on why humans shifted from hunter-gatherers to practicing agriculture. We will never fully understand the reasons why humans did that. The reasons must have varied across the world. Before great empires and kingdoms were formed, people lived in agricultural villages. The world's first agricultural villages emerged approximately between 8,000 to 6,000 BCE. BCE stands for the before the Common Era. This was the time before Jesus was born. West Asia was an early center of wheat and barley farming, and the earliest domesticated animals in this area included sheep and goats. The Neolithic era, also known as the New Stone Age, was the final division of the Stone Age, lasting roughly from 10,000 BCE to 2000 BCE. The Stone Age was an era of time where people used stones as the primary material for making tools and weapons. The Neolithic era was defined by the Neolithic Revolution, the global transition from hunter-gatherer lifestyles to settled agricultural societies. An example of an early Neolithic village was Çatalhöyük. Çatalhöyük is one of the largest Neolithic settlements ever discovered. It was built more than 9,000 years ago. Çatalhöyük means forked mound in Turkish. The site is in Turkey. It consists of two mounds separated by an ancient river channel, which resembles a forked formation on the landscape. It was excavated by the British archaeologist James Millard in the early 1960s. Homes were built tightly packed together like a honeycomb. There were no streets or paths connecting houses. You had to walk along the rooftops between houses. The society appears to have been egalitarian, with everyone being equal because there were no elite buildings like palaces. You can see the Çatalhöyük site being excavated on the left. You can see an aerial view of the site in the middle, and you can see the seated woman of Çatalhöyük figurine that was excavated from the site on the right. I'm going to talk about geography a lot now. China is a huge country. China's total land area is 9,596,960 kilometers squared, or 3,705,410 square miles. Depending on how water areas and specific overseas territories are calculated, it ranks either the third or fourth largest country in the world by total area. Topography is the study of the land surface. China's topography descends from west to east in a giant three-step staircase pattern. The brown area is located in southwestern China. It is dominated by the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau. This area is very mountainous. This area has the Himalayas and Mount Everest. Elevation averages over 4,000 meters above sea level. The yellow area is the central basins and plateaus. Elevation generally ranges between 1,000 and 2,000 meters. A plateau is a large, flat, elevated area of land that sits significantly higher than the surrounding terrain. The Inner Mongolian plateau and Tarim Basin is found in this area. A basin is a bowl-shaped depression or dip in the Earth's surface that is lower than the surrounding land. The green area is the eastern plains and hills. Key plains include the Northeast Plain, the North China Plain, and the Middle Lower Yangtze Plain. Elevation sits mostly below 500 meters above sea level. A plain is an area of land that is flat. This area contains China's most fertile agricultural land and hosts the vast majority of its population. For most of Chinese history, the green area was China. It was only in the 18th century that the much bigger shape of today's People's Republic of China was determined by the huge multiracial empire of the Manchus, the Qing dynasty, which spread its rule over Mongolia, Xinjiang, and its Tibetan protectorate. This picture shows a plateau, this picture shows a basin, and this picture shows a plain. The green area has two rivers, which are the Yellow River and the Yangtze River. The first Neolithic villages emerged around these rivers. This map shows the cradles of civilization. This refers to a geographic region where a complex, urbanized society emerged entirely independently without outside influence. Humans transformed from hunter-gatherers to forming complex civilizations. The six cradles were ancient China, ancient India, Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, the Olmec civilization, and the Kara civilization. Anthropologists and historians define a civilization by several shared features like urban areas, which means populated cities, centralized government who make laws, collect taxes, and manage infrastructure, division of labor, which means a specialized workforce, so roles beyond food production like artisans, merchants, and administrators, social stratification, which means dividing society into hierarchical socio-economic classes, writing systems, which are used for record keeping, trade and cultural preservation, and advanced technology, which means significant architectural, agricultural, and artistic achievements. All these cradles of civilization were formed near rivers. Seasonal flooding of the rivers deposited nutrient-rich silt alluvium onto the surrounding floodplains. This provided fertile soil to grow crops. Lots of food was produced, meaning people could create complex societies because there was a food surplus. Early Neolithic villages in China emerged between 7000 BCE to 5000 BCE. They were either based near the Yellow River in the north or the Yangtze River in the south. Jiahu in Henan province, China, was a Neolithic settlement. This site is associated with the Peiligang culture. The Peiligang culture was an early Neolithic Chinese culture. The culture is named after the first site discovered and is associated with over 100 sites. This culture is characterized by its egalitarian society with little political organization. The Jiahu site was based near the Yellow River. It was settled around 7000 BCE. The site was later flooded and abandoned around 5700 BCE. The site was discovered by Zhu Jie, a Chinese archaeologist, in 1962. Extensive excavation did not happen until the 1980s. The settlement was home to at least 250 people and perhaps as many as 800 people. Important discoveries at this site were the Jiahu symbols, one of the world's earliest examples in the history of writing, carved into tortoise shells and bones. More than 30 Jiahu flutes carved from the wing bones of cranes, believed to be among the oldest playable musical instruments in the world. Cranes are long-necked birds, and finally evidence of wine fermented from rice, honey, and hawthorn leaves. You can see the Jiahu site on a map on the left. You can see some ceramics excavated from the site in the middle, and you can see some flutes excavated from the site on the right. The Hamadu culture was a Neolithic culture in the lower Yangtze River region of China. It flourished from approximately 5500 BCE to 3300 BCE. The culture is named after the first site that was discovered. The Hamadu site was excavated in 1973 when local farmers accidentally discovered the site when they were excavating the soil for a drainage project. The site is divided into four cultural layers and it covers 40,000 square meters. The fourth cultural layer represents one of the earliest Neolithic age strata discovered in China. A large number of animal bones, plant remains, wooden architectural remains and components, as well as thousands of pottery, bone, stone, and wooden artifacts have been preserved in the third and fourth cultural layers. Some of the earliest evidence of cultivated rice was found here. You can see Hamadu on a map on the left, and you can see some wooden architectural remains from the site on the right. After the Neolithic period in China, villages transformed into city-states, eventually kingdoms and empires formed. I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to press the like button, leave your comments down below, and share your own insights into what I spoke about. Correct me if any of my information was wrong. I probably pronounced all the Chinese words wrong, so I apologize for that. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and press the bell icon so you are notified whenever I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.